What's up, guys? We are back with another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at another figure in the Gamerverse Abomination wave, another one of the comic figures, and definitely something that I've really been looking forward to, a figure that kind of felt like he's been almost missing a little bit in this line, at least, well, the modern Marvel Legends line. We're taking a look today at Captain Marvel MAR-VELL. So we've got him here in our standard Marvel Legends packaging. Figure in the window, you've got a nice shot of him on the side and then more of that artwork on the back, and a really weird write-up that almost reads like someone doesn't know anything about this character because it's just a rundown of his powers. And then you've also got a shot of the Build-A-Figure and then the full wave lineup. So let's do it. Let's pull him out and take a look. And here he is out of the package, Captain Marvel, MAR-VELL himself. So this is a figure that I've really been looking forward to because he seems like he's kind of been missing, just based on a lot of the more cosmic characters that we've gotten. I mean, it's Captain Marvel, it's MAR-VELL, it's a very, very pivotal character in Marvel history, a very important character just in general. So it's cool to finally get this guy. I mean, we got his son not too long ago, so it's cool to finally get the man himself. And I think we've got a pretty cool figure here, if not for maybe just like with the rest of the comic figures in this wave, a distinct lack of accessories. So let's see what this guy can do, see how he moves around. He is on, what is this? This is the Spider UK body. That's what this is, right? Am I wrong? Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but it certainly feels like that because he's got these weird shoulders. So we've got a head that can look up pretty far. It's pretty good as far as like a straight on flying pose. So he's basically looking forward if you've got him, you know, flying right across, depending on how you got him angled, arc him back a little bit. It works really well. Head goes all the way down, not too much tilt, but there's a little bobble, a little bit of attitude there, and then you've got full rotation. The arms go out at the shoulders, but these are those kind of weird ones where you kind of have to push them down. So when you try to push them up, they're going to start to almost hit. So you push them down and then they go out. Then they rotate all the way around. You've got your bicep swivel. We've got our double jointed elbows, of course. You've got hinges and rotation at those wrists. And then you've got an ab crunch that goes forward pretty good. And it goes backwards a little bit. Waist twist, of course. And then you've got legs that go out about that far. They kick forward more than 90 degrees. Kick backwards only slightly. You've got your thigh cut, double jointed knees. And then you've got boot cut, rocker, and hinges down at those ankles. So he does move pretty well. I don't really have any issues with this guy outside of the fact that I wish he might have had a body that used butterfly joints, but at the same time, this body works pretty good in giving him the slight bulk that he needs. Truth be told, and I know it's going to be the biggest shock to anybody that watches with regularity, I want this guy because of the way he looks. I want him for the aesthetics. I want him for his shelf presence, and I think he's got a lot of it, honestly. This guy is going to work really well just standing on your shelf, being Captain Marvel, being MAR-VELL. But at the same time, he also is really easily posed to get him into some really good-looking action shots or action poses. And despite the fact that he doesn't come with any accessories, you know, if you've got some extra, energy effects like these lying around, which we probably all do, those will work really well for him if you want to get some shots with that, because those do kind of fit him a little bit. But he does look really good. There's not a whole lot going on here. It's a what you see is what you get kind of figure. So he is done up mostly in red plastic with accents of metallic blue, but there is some metallic blue plastic like on the hands and the wrists and the ankles and the feet, and then those have red paint. For the most part, where the paints have to overlay, it's decent. It's not the greatest. The reds on the forearms are kind of thin, but the actual metallic paints up here are really well done. The yellow on the starburst pattern is really well done. It's very clean and crisp. I don't really have any issues there. He does have his nega bands, which are free floating. We saw these recently with Genus Fell not too long ago, and they don't really do a whole lot. They don't get in the way. They don't bother him. They just sort of float around here, but they're very much confined to that wrist. They aren't going anywhere. And I do like this body for him as well. It's not overly bulky, but it's also not really skinny like Pizza Spidey or anything like that. So this works really well to give him that bulk that he needs without being overly muscled or overly huge. He just very much looks like a guy that is in peak physical condition, and it works really well just to add a little bit of oomph to him to make him slightly larger than some other figures. The head sculpt, though, might be one of my favorite aspects of this figure because it just stands out in comparison to the rest of the body. So you've got that very metallic blue mask with the pupilless eyes and then the exposed nose mouth region, but it's the hair that draws me in on this figure because the sculpt on this is really well done. It's got a nice windswept look to it. There's a good bit of shading in there to bring out a lot of those kind of blonde and then maybe slightly dirty blonde accents in there. So it's a really solid head sculpt. The hair, though, for some reason, really does does it for me, but I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. The figure in a general sense just looks great, but this head sculpt really does it for me. Sized really well, paint's really clean, and it just looks good. It very much gives off that Captain Marvel vibe. So yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say on this guy. I like him. He is, of course, one of, 4 comic figures in this wave that are completely devoid of accessories, but after building Abomination, I kind of understand why, because that's a big old boy. So this guy, though, is pretty cool. I'm really happy with the way he turned out. Paint looks good, sculpt is good, really dig the body they used for him. The head sculpt is really fantastic, definitely a high point of this figure for me. I do wish he had some effect pieces just so I didn't have to cannibalize other figures for him, but at the same time, he does look great on his own. He gets into really solid poses. Pose him with Silver Surfer or, Thanos or his son, do stuff like that. You've got the makings of a really solid entry on your Cosmic Marvel Legends shelf for sure. So that's going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends MAR-VELL figure. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.